Produced by J.O.
Welcome back to the Longer Than a Decade podcast, episode 54.
Jeez.
Wow.
My name is Martin Dunn, aka 954 Martin. I am here with my co-host today. Co-hosts. Salute Paris the Don.
Hello.
Catch a Fire 29 Benji.
Yo, real quick, if y'all didn't know, we do have Bears in Miami. Don't poke them. Jimmy Butler.
Yes, sir.
Jimmy Butler.
Yes, sir.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
Boston, y'all trash. That's it.
fella _ Forrest here. My boy Nathaniel.
Good to be here. Good to be
You know
here.
what I'm saying? Special guest today, man. This episode is called A Blast from the Past. If you went to William Danny Middle School,
Yes.
then you know the vibes, you know who this is. If you didn't go to William Danny, please, Miss Simmons, go ahead and introduce yourself for the people.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? My name is Miss Simmons, but of
Milf.
course, outside of William Dandy, it is Shantae. Like I tell my kids all the time, my face is good in every hood. So,
Hey,
people know we
man.
out here.
Yes, sir.
She welcome the deep side anytime. You know what I'm saying?
Anytime. The manners come through. I'm
For
here.
sure.
The man is ratchet.
So you're an icon. Yeah, you're an icon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Well, Miss Simmons, it is good to see you. You know what I mean?
Good to see you
I was
too.
more of a quiet person, really. I do know who you, well, I didn't have a class with you. I think I had who did I have, man? I'm sorry, Miss Simmons. What subject did you teach me?
I have taught multiple subjects. When you were there, I probably was the reading or the language arts teacher.
Oh yeah, that would not.
So I specifically taught language arts.
You have
but
Mr. Hilliard?
I did.
could have
did
had
I
Mr.
have-
Hilliard,
I think I had
Miss
Mr.
McDonald,
Hilliard. Miss McDonald. It was
Miss
the one with the
Foster.
shortcut.
Yes.
Yeah, I had her.
Yes.
I remember that one time when, that's where I remember now when they combined that class in that one
Success
little ass hut.
Days.
Yeah.
Success Days.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers Success Days. Y'all hated it.
Y'all
but
still do that?
We don't do it
Thank
anymore.
God.
But that made us an A for 9 years. So Success Days was it.
Oh man.
They got those
I was
results.
there when they first became an A.
Oh, see?
Yeah,
And
I
by
don't
the
know,
time
was
I got
Mr.
there, it was
was
like
Mr.
3 or
Stanley
4
still
years.
principal?
No, when I got there, the second, my first year was the new principal, Ms. Robinson's second year.
See, I know Miss Stanley.
But I've always heard about Miss Stanley. Like, she was no joke. We need another Miss Stanley back at Dandy, to be honest.
I mean, my William Danny memories will probably be those food fights. Those are the craziest days. Shout out Stacy Coley.
Oh,
you know
my
what I'm saying?
it was the fights. I remember when I was coming up.
That kid.
Like when I was coming up, when you heard William Dandy, it was like, bro, you better know how to fight.
come ready.
They used to, bro, like,
Yeah,
You
yeah.
better come ready.
I think the first day of school in 6th grade, somebody got into a fight. The first day of school when I was there, and I just saw weave
yeah.
flying, like, bro,
yeah.
they grabbed
Yeah.
the weave and they were just throwing it, bro.
It's
Like,
gonna
I'm just
be a
like-
fight. It's
Look,
gonna be.
Well, okay, when I was out there, when I was in the 6th grade, Sammy was in the 8th.
The finger.
Sammy
yes.
was in 8th grade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard he went to
Benji, your
Dandy
age
Mills
is
before me.
showing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he be showing his age, Miss Simmons.
Yeah, your age is
Throughout this
showing.
whole
I
show.
would say Shabby.
Yeah, Sammy was in the 8th grade.
Wow, man.
See, I can't give my age now because if you showing your age, just imagine when I say how old I am. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Nah, but it is good to see you, Miss
Beautiful
Simmons.
thing,
You know what
Good to
I'm saying?
see you all
Because
too.
I lived in Lauderdale Lakes, so basically I was only at William Danny because Lauderdale Lakes was so damn like it was. You know how that was.
I do.
Walking home from school was like World War II.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So my mom was like, "Man, hell no, we're gonna find a different school." So we go to William Danny, and I'm telling my mom, I said, "You put me in the same
no
shit,
better.
basically.
Yeah, ain't no better.
You put me in the
Ain't
same
no
shit."
better.
You know what I'm saying?
It don't really make a difference.
Bro, I've seen people with ankle monitors. Like, bruh, they on house arrest, bruh.
And
Yeah.
trust
Like
me,
they can go to school and they gotta go straight home, bro. Like,
if you all think Dandy was
Bruh.
bad back in your
Tough.
day, like my mom always said, keep saying good morning because right now it's nothing like it was even then. It's like 10 times worse.
Jesus.
You lying.
Absolutely.
Now?
Absolutely.
I can believe that.
Ever
It's worse
since
than we was there?
ever since Arthur Ashe closed, because if you can
I
recall, remember,
remember
Arthur Ashe.
come on,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
Lauderdale Manors kids went to Arthur Ashe. But then once Arthur Ashe closed, we got all their kids.
And
I
So
remember that.
Dandy is full of Lauderdale Manors kids.
Sheesh.
I remember they kicked out all the bad kids out of William Danny and they went to Arthur Ashe.
Right.
When it first got there.
Right.
Like when I was leaving, that's when they made Arthur Ashe.
And we used to
Arthur
call
Ashe.
Arthur Ashe the hood
It's not
school.
even a
Now
school no more, right? It's something different, right?
I think
It's like a technical school
Yeah,
now.
it ain't
That's
Like
why
a
schools like
GED.
Whitten Rogers and shit created. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It was criminals over there. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And one thing about it, we send kids to Whit and Rogers Cypress Run on a regular basis.
The shit, me and Martin was in prison in high
this
school.
day.
Like, we was
Man,
literally
when I
getting, we
tell
was going
you-
through metal detectors to
Oh
go
my
into
gosh.
school.
Look, we need them.
Man,
We need 'em.
when I tell you we had William Dandy was interesting because I was riding a bus. I'll never forget. We had that hot ass bus, and then all of a sudden, like call it the short bus. You know what I'm saying? They had air conditioning, the tinted windows. You know what I mean? We was jealous. One time we our bus driver didn't show up. She was
want
hood
one of
too. She was like letting us fight on the bus and shit. But
Yeah.
like when we got onto that, I would call it the short bus, but it was like a longer bus. It was good. I was like,
They
this
had
is the
that air
short bus.
conditioner. It had that air.
This is short bus?
The school buses that first looked like city bus when they first came out, bro. They looked like the city bus. They first came out. It had like the city
Oh
bus front.
yeah.
I remember when that
The little
first came
flat
out.
front.
Everybody
Fam.
you
We're
felt like
old.
it was royalty.
Yeah, we old. We talking about the first time that we seen the
The
damn.
flat front buses.
Man, I saw that bus. I said, God, these boys
This
got
is
money
it.
now.
This is it.
I used
They
to
own
ride.
it.
I used to ride school buses before they put the route number on the side. It was just one number. Like
Benji. Enough with your age. Enough with your age.
That boy taking it back right
Y'all
now.
know about that, man. Y'all
Taking
know
it
about
back
that,
right
man.
now.
So you graduated high school in 07?
Oh yeah, 07. Yeah.
I was 2000.
Yeah. Okay.
Jeez.
So you able to determine it like that?
Yeah.
Oh God.
You always remember your graduation date.
Absolutely.
No, but she don't know him, so she guessed it.
Because I'm a teacher.
Oh, she's a teacher, man.
We
Look how she talking.
we can determine when the kids are graduating.
Yeah.
When the, we got that.
Teachers got superpowers,
Exactly.
man.
When
I'm
he
telling
said
you.
03, he left Dandy. I'm like, okay, 07, he graduated.
Yeah. We went to after William Dandy. I went to BA, but because BA is like down the street, I tell my mom, like, listen, man, I'm not trying to go to no like Coral Springs,
Right,
Silver
right,
Lakes. I'm going back to the hood.
No Piper.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going back to BA, so I'm at BA, and next thing you know, they're giving us this little purple slip, kicking us out because our GPA. I honestly, like, when they saw me, it was like all hope was lost.
like he spelled on high school. He spelled on
Like I went in there and I just seen everybody in my neighborhood. So when they saw me,
Yeah.
because they know I be getting B's,
Uh-huh.
A's, so they saw me, they're like, "Oh
What
God,
happened?
this
What
is."
happened?
I'm wondering that too. Like how
That's
you
what
get
happened to
kicked
me,
out?
too, though.
I just stopped caring, bro. Like
I was going to
I
smart
had a lot
Oh,
of
you was
stuff
having
going
too
on.
much
at home.
fun.
No,
Not
not
smart
like that.
school.
Oh,
Well, it's not
Lord.
smart. It's Eagle Charter Academy.
I remember that name.
I was over there.
Smart school.
Yeah, I just stopped caring. I just kind of stopped caring.
The
and,
guidance counselor, they called me in the office and they say, "Sir, you don't have a GPA." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" No, they told me that.
You don't have one.
Not you.
They told me
don't.
that. They're like, "You don't have a GPA. You can no longer
0.0.
attend." So they like, I'm like, "Where am I going to go?"
This man had a 0.0 GPA.
Not even a 0.1.
Remember the shit when the dude showed the credit score? His shit was 4. That's
Yeah.
what they tried to do.
I didn't even know that was
Oh my
possible.
So they called my
gosh.
mom over. They tell my mom like my mom in the office. So they like, ma'am, like what the hell going on? Y'all calling me? I'm at work. God damn it! So they call her over. They're like, your son don't have a GPA. So
Yeah.
she like.
Yep.
So he dumb? I'm like, mom,
Your
not
son.
stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn. I know how
son
to
out
read.
here
I know how
wild.
to read. Goddamn it.
Yeah, but he being a juvenile delinquent. You
That's
had to
pretty
go.
much what it was. So
You had
that's
to
how
go.
I met this nigga right here. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
We was in prison.
It's crazy how like worlds collide
Yeah.
based off
Yeah.
like school. So many people.
They closed that school down.
They did.
We went to Life Skills. Life Skills on Oakland Park, and it transformed into Sunday. They gave us these bright shirts. I said, bro,
You got to stand out. We got to know who y'all are.
For
sure.
Out in the community.
sure.
We don't need y'all roaming
Man.
free with the scholars. We need the.
Wow.
that is true.
We need to be able to
Bro,
distinguish.
But all the kids with no
Bro.
hope went to that school. Like
Paris, we went through metal detectives,
for real.
and then that he was a bitch. I ain't gonna lie, Ross,
The big nigga,
big
Ross-
dude,
Ross was a snitch.
He'll either let you go, like if you try him in any way, I don't fuck with you no more. He got his phone right there. Get him. Yeah, that dude was weird, but
And I tell people all the time, it's interesting that I have been a teacher for so long because I literally was kicked out of BA.
For real?
I don't think I ever told you that story.
wow.
Why you, wait. Why
Teachers got a pass, ladies and
Wait.
gentlemen.
Wait.
She has a pass.
Why you got kicked out of
Beat
BA?
up.
I was okay. The problem was
The
Problem was that's how the
was-
delinquents start.
Let me get the paper.
Yeah. The problem was I started school too young. That was my problem.
Ah.
So when I got to high school, I was only 13.
Wow.
So here I am, 13 years old in the 9th grade. I'm looking at, 17, 18, 16-year-old people. So I feel like I got to do what they're doing.
In the 9th grade?
I was 13.
Wait, but why they so old in the 9th grade?
Why are they so old? No. I'm saying like high school.
Oh,
in
you mean the
general. They were all
atmosphere.
the
Okay.
atmosphere, yeah. But because I was so young, I just felt like I had to do the most. Like I used to fight. We used to put a fire alarm when I didn't want to go to math class, like all kind of stuff. And I got called to the office, and my mom was there, and it was like, yo, either she leave this school or she can't come back. Like she's not coming back her 11th grade year. And I had to go to Stranahan.
Sheesh.
And turns out the school I ended up going to was the same school that I skipped on the year before to fight some girl because she tried me at the skating rink. So I ended up going.
You see how everything you just said, I'm sorry, Benji, I didn't mean to cut you off, but everything you just said did not include any kind of school shooting.
Absolutely.
You see this shit I'm talking about?
I told you that's a white problem.
That's not our problem.
That's white people problem.
That's not our problem, and that's like the least of our worries.
Yes.
That's exactly what Benji said like a couple of episodes.
Like every time they be talking about it's a school shooting, how you feel about it? I'll be like, that's none of my business. I know it ain't black children.
Yeah.
And only black children are my business.
We don't do that. We don't do that kind of stuff.
You feel?
Like
G. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
So how do you feel about the whole thing with clear book bags? Me personally, I just feel like
that's a good app, bro.
The real niggas just gonna have it tucked on them.
I'm proud of you.
Like, you feel me?
I am so proud of you. You just snapped with that topic. I'm not gonna lie.
Like,
you slid it right on in. That was seamless.
Yeah, you feel me? They just gonna have.
you can tell he's seasoned. You
34 though. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I will say I feel like it's a false sense of security.
Yeah,
I feel like it's their way to say, okay, because number one, they know how much like the kids are into the book bags. The book bags now are like a big part of the culture.
Statement.
It's a fashion statement. Spray ground, yes. Like my son straight got me on the spray ground for the school year. The thing was like $120.
What is that?
Book bag. I'm like, what happened to
you know what you're gonna do? They're gonna start making designs. They're gonna start making book bags with designs, but it's gonna be see through though.
But the problem is, they're saying that the book bag has to be completely see through. It can't have any design on it. Can't have anything on it. It got to be completely see through.
I can only imagine like at a white school, black kids they're gonna be wanted the most.
Right. So it's like a pointing out kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like the metal detectors might be a better idea because
that's
me personally working with like security and wanting people, that is it.
But that's what we've been advocating for.
It's like 60-40.
Yeah, because after Stoneman Douglas, every school has what's called single point, where it's that one single point of entry for every single school now. So because everyone's entering in that one spot, why can't you put a metal detector right there to make sure that everybody that comes in is good? But they're feeling that this whole book bag thing is going to fix it all. But like you saying, all they're going to do is put it in their Adidas pants. And their Adidas, their little hoodie, like they're going to tuck it.
So there's only one entrance where everybody can go in?
One point of
I did not know that.
That's not good.
That's
not good.
And it's not
That's
because
a setup, bro.
It is. Like the Dandy you all remember, even the way you walk into Dandy is totally different now. Like we have like a metal little walkway type thing. They built, I don't know if y'all remember the band area where Mr. Durden used to be.
Yeah.
They turned that into like a little single point office where you have to go through in order to get into the school. But the problem comes, they have a door here, to get into the school, but the double doors are right here. So all you have to do is wait for someone to come out of those double doors, and you could bypass single point and still walk right in.
I got a question.
And that's almost every school.
Yeah.
As far as like someone coming up who's a teacher who wants to be a great teacher, what would you feel that the mental attitude they have to be successful in the profession that you're doing?
Oh, bastard! It's like he read the damn question. How you seen that? Nigga? But go ahead.
I snapped too, right? You did.
So what advice would I give a prospective teacher?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I heard this from somebody a while ago, and I still use this to myself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go into education feeling as though you can save every kid.
Wow. Okay.
Like you literally have to go in with that mindset, because if you go in and it's like, oh, well, this kid is hopeless and that kid is okay, so I'll work with them. No, I'm going to work with every kid, and I'm going to treat every single kid the same way.
Okay.
And I literally go into it even now. Like I have a son, he's 13. I talk to my students how I talk to my son. Even before I had him, I treat them like one of my own. So when the kids feel like, okay, she's talking to me as though, not saying I'm your equal, but it's not to the point where I'm like, I'm up here because I'm your teacher and you're down here, you're the student. No, we see each other. there's a mutual understanding.
Okay.
So because of that mutual understanding and feeling like you can save the kids, I feel like that's gonna allow the teacher to be the most successful.
That's a great. But we got a grown woman on this podcast.
Nah, it's all coming back to me now because everybody used to be like, because in my class they were like, damn, I should have had Miss Simmons. I used to be like, who is this Miss Simmons?
Like I tell my kids, I'm popping in these streets. I'm sorry.
So pretty much one of Paris's questions here, right? Because she snapped with all these questions, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I just want to kind of get into the general topics because with this podcast, Miss Simmons, we pretty much go into everything, but we're particular like what works, what doesn't, in the sense of like we don't want to be like other podcasts.
Okay.
People talking about women and all this other shit. That shit's lame.
Battle
as
of the
hell.
sexes and all
You know
of
what I
that
mean?
stuff.
That's just lame. We're not talking about any of that. But
No 50-50.
oh my god! But everybody, Paris decided right.
What you not gonna do is clown my old school.
No. Let me tell you something.
Great handwriting.
Credible handwriting.
Thank you. Yeah,
My shit is trash.
my penmanship is chef's kiss.
Terrible.
You know what I mean? So basically, what I really wanted to talk about too was pretty much. Whoa! These are good ass topics, Terrence. Hold on, let me rewind.
So you did your big one on that one?
I
You did
guess.
your big one? Okay. All right.
So basically, sex offender who raped and groomed a 15-year-old and infected him with HIV. Now, I want to kind of get into
What
this
city
point.
was that in?
I can't remember.
I
I
know.
know.
I don't think they put it on the thing.
No, I don't think they put it on the thing. But there's been a lot of like weird shit going on as far as like, you know, weirdos doing shit like this. I've noticed there's been about like I think I saw a story where this lady, I think she was like 30. She got pregnant by a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
What?
And they just sentenced her for 5 years.
She was a teacher?
Yeah.
No, she in jail for. Oh, they sentenced her 5 years.
Yeah.
She said,
5
I saw 90
years.
days. I saw 90 days.
It was real light.
something like
It was
that,
real
light.
light.
I saw
don't
90
remember what
days.
it was. It was light.
Yeah, it
I
was 90
like,
days.
wow, if the roles were reversed. Like,
No,
I just said that on Twitter.
And you know what it is? I've in the news now. When you hear teacher has sex with student, the teacher's usually a woman now.
That is true.
If you think about it now, the teachers
true.
are fucking like crazy now.
Weirds
Women, no, they are. I'm sorry. Like that's what's going
Fucking,
on.
they got them.
Like, I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
because me personally, I'm like, why would a grown woman want like 13-year-old, 14-year-old dick? Like, what is wrong with y'all?
That's what I'm
like,
weird,
is your
man.
sex life that bad?
It's weird.
Like,
haven't seen a black teacher yet. You know
bro,
what I'm saying? Hopefully not.
Like, what the fuck?
It'd be
I feel
them.
like
It'd be
it's
them Courtneys.
It could be a power dynamic too, because the teacher feels like that's the one thing that they can control. Maybe like I got power over this young man because of course being a teacher for as long as I've had students like approach me as like not approach me as like kids, but like I would hear little things, but oh, Miss Simmons fine or Miss whatever she fine. Fall back, little boy. But even to the point now where like my first year kids are like 30, 31, I've had students come back to me and they're like, yo, I'm an adult now. What's up? So it's kind of weird. But to answer your question, I feel like we've seen a rise, and this is just my opinion. I feel like we've seen a rise in the sex offender situations with like the women, the men dealing with younger kids because the teaching requirements have been lowered. That's my take.
I ain't mean to cut you off. She ain't served no jail time.
See what I'm saying?
She had to register as a sex offender.
Yeah,
That's it.
She served no jail time.
That's it.
Now,
She said
if it was
she
the other way
said
around.
she said her and the team was having sex like damn near on a daily basis. Like
13-year-old was getting it in.
she looked crazy. I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah.
But was she not married? None of that. Like
she's
what?
a loser. That's what she is.
Absolutely.
She had to go look
loser.
for
She
13-year-old
had
dick.
to go look for a 13.
It's really that simple.
She was
That's
fucking
wild.
13-year-old dick. Like what the?
She's a
fuck?
loser. She's a loser.
Absolutely.
So what is his parents don't care?
Parents probably don't even know
They
till
didn't even
now.
know what was going
They're
on.
not expecting their
until
little
he
son
was
to be out
charged.
here bending the teacher over.
Honestly, the funny thing, there's a different dynamic when a boy does that with a teacher and when a girl does that. A boy is gonna be praised more.
Yeah.
Like once they find out, they be like, "Yo, that nigga smashed this."
Oh,
That boy in the hallway like
They go, and then if they happen to a girl, they be like that disgusting ass teacher. She a hoe.
whore.
That, like I said earlier, how
Yeah, bro, like, come on.
y'all help the whole stereotype. Yeah.
I feel like the difference is penetration too. Like a woman can't penetrate like she's the one being penetrated.
For sure.
So when it's a man and a little girl, it's like, dang, like you actually went in. Like you did that to a little girl, so it's automatically looked at as negative because of the penetration.
I'm just saying, so why they don't ever talk about the fact that these kids really be fast as fuck? Because that's really also what
It's
boils
been that way,
down
though.
to. Like,
It's
yeah,
been that
like
way.
how do y'all little kids get so interested in these adults and not the people around you?
Well,
Like,
in my
they'll
experiences,
see- I mean,
I wanted to knock a couple of mine out. You know what I'm saying? But I was
like
too
you in
young.
middle school,
Puberty.
of course
Yeah.
you're gonna start. That's when you first start. Okay, I'm attracted to girls, and 9 times out of 10, the girls around you haven't hit puberty. If you want to see some
Yes.
real titties and ass, you looking at the teacher.
You looking at the grown.
And then 9 times out of 10,
Yes.
and then 9 times out of 10, 75% of teachers are women. So
I brought my teacher, Miss Reza Honey Bun.
Like-
You feel what I'm saying?
wait. So now,
I brought Miss
Honey
Reza
Bun.
Honey Bun. You know
so
what
now
I'm
I
saying?
got
Like,
a off-topic question for
Not
you.
a
So
honey
do you
bun.
think that these teachers should change the way that they dress?
Absolutely not.
No.
Because I feel like so I'll backtrack. There's a certain way that you should conduct yourself as a teacher, yes.
For sure.
Because we're not about to be out here with crop tops on and short shorts and, like out here in our outside clothes, even though I love me a good t-shirt and jean combo. But I feel like there's certain ways that you should dress in certain professions. You can be casual, because I love a good casual look, without being provocative. Because you are in the space of impressionable teens. Not saying that you're going to be willing to go to this teen and hook up with him, or he's going to hook up with you, but you already are dealing with prepubescent teens who just are going through puberty at that point, and they just checking for any single thing that they see. If here you are and standing in front of them and you got your breasts out, you got the whatever little short skirts on, and they can't focus because they're looking at you because they're going through puberty.
So,
Sure.
So
I
there's just
remember
certain-
one time there was one like alumni that I went to school with that went to Dandy. She's now a teacher, and she like posted that basically like her coworkers basically think she should change the way how she dressed, but she wasn't dressing inappropriate. Like she was still covered. She just got body.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because, like,
And
for
it
example,
comes with
like
that, too.
like a teacher could wear a skirt that the skirt go all the way
Yeah.
down to her knees, but the back is just because her shit filled out. Like, I remember it was a teacher. It was a teacher, Miss Jackson. I remember when they was hating on her because we used to wait for her. We used to like the boys. We used to wait for her to wear this one dress because when there's one skirt like. Because when she wore it, the shit poked out.
So you're
bro.
proving,
But-
you're proving my point
No,
as to
right, that's
why
what I'm
teachers
saying.
should
Listen,
have decorum in their dress.
But her shit was appropriate.
We
but-
understand.
But it's just that she got curves.
It's the body.
Like, you feel me? Just,
It's
for
the
example,
body.
like when it comes to black women, they're easily more body shamed. Look at tennis,
Absolutely.
right? Look at tennis, right? All these little white girls wearing thigh high skirts, but when Serena Williams thick ass getting that shit, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
It's the same
It
fucking
is.
uniform.
It is.
Same
But when
fucking
you're in front of
uniform, bro.
teenagers, it's looked at
But
differently.
it's different because you got ass. Like,
It's different because you got ass and you
feel
in
me?
front of teenagers.
This is facts.
I got I got another question.
Yeah.
Because I'm in more than ever before. I'm seeing kids and getting into altercations, putting their hands on teachers. Like I've
What you
never
do?
seen-
Reading the questions?
Don't
Martin
worry
sent you
about
the
what I'm
questions?
doing. Okay, this is all.
Martin, what you did?
This all
You leaked the
freestyle.
questions?
This all freestyle.
He's in a different bag right now.
This
He's
all
in the
freestyle.
playoffs.
So I be on social media because just like the last the black girl who beat up the other black teacher in school. You know what I mean? That happened
The
like,
substitute.
last month or something. Like, the substitute.
That took
not
her
too long
phone.
ago. Yeah, and I seen like a lot of people like defending the child, but where I was born at, you don't put your hands on no adult.
Exactly.
You treat an adult like an adult. So, what's your view on that? Like, what's your view on people attacking a teacher, saying the teacher should know how to because it's the phones. You know what I mean? They saying the phones and stuff like that. So, what's your opinion on that?
First off, phones in the education system right now are like crack for children. Like, when I tell you they are the most addicted to their phones, literally their phone is in their hand all day long.
How many
It's
times you got to tell a kid, put your phone
ridiculous.
away?
You have to kind of pick your battles in school, to be honest. Because I figured out a way to incorporate phones in my classroom to the point where, okay, you have an assignment that you're doing, and then when you're done with your assignment, we can do a TikTok or we could do a little video, a
That's
little
dope.
something
That's
real
dope.
quick. But I've never had personally situations to where the phone became an issue, because I feel like it's a mutual, like I said earlier in the conversation, a mutual respect thing. My kids know that when my lesson starts, all phones away. So while I'm teaching my lesson, I'm not in front of you for more than 10, 15 minutes, giving you the objective, the lesson, and giving you what to do. In those 10, 15 minutes, I don't want to see any phones out.
No
if
phone.
I see a phone out, I'm putting it on my desk until the end of class. I've never had a debate of like a back and forth with a kid of I don't want to give you my phone or whatever, because they know in their head, once she's done with her lesson, I can bring my phone out.
Yep.
So it's not that much of a big deal for me when it comes down to the phones. But I feel like as teachers, you do have to pick your battles. Like, I'm not going to bat or going to war with a kid over a phone, when at the end of the day, if I'm injured because of this whole altercation with the kid, the school board is not paying me for me being out.
That's crazy.
They're not paying me disability if I got hurt, because it was a teacher, and I think it was Georgia, that got into the fight with the girl. I think it was over a phone.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
she
sure.
broke her ribs
And she
or her
broke
leg.
her leg.
Security job, dude.
When
She
she
was a
ended up,
Caucasian lady. White
no,
lady.
this was a black lady.
Oh, wow.
The one that broke her leg. So when she broke her leg, she had to do like a GoFundMe to raise money for like her medical expenses and her time out. She had to
Jesus
borrow
Christ.
like 6 hours from other people. It's not worth it.
Her parents should have paid for that straight up.
Now the daughter,
Straight up.
the child, from what I heard, she was charged, I think, with assault or something like that. But I
As
also
she
feel
should.
like, and absolutely she should have. I feel like with the kids these days and how violent they've gotten, it comes down to discipline at home.
Yeah.
Or the
That's
lack
what I'm
thereof.
saying.
The lack thereof. These kids have no problem disrespecting adults on a regular basis.
And Mason them, I'm trying to figure out how she got Mason.
My
in
daddy
school.
ain't played.
because
My
it's
mom
no
ain't played. Like, I
it's
know,
no
like,
order.
I had both of my parents in my life, and I know, like, if my dad got to me, once my dad whipped my ass,
Right.
It's over.
it changed my life.
Because you
like,
knew
It's over.
I stopped being bad. Like, I stopped being bad.
you
like,
because and that's because you knew the consequences
I knew the
of
consequences.
your actions.
Like-
These kids don't have any consequences for their actions. For me to call a parent and the child get on the phone, the child called a parent, they're like, she want to talk to you.
wow.
First off, who is she? So it kind of is like, if that's your energy when you're literally within earshot of your mom, mom, she want to talk to you.
I let you
Why
know.
am I even having a conversation with this lady or this man or this aunt, this
That's-
uncle,
that's
this
true.
grandma? Because
Very
look at
much
the
true.
energy she's giving you.
And the parents
That
endorsing
all the
that type
time.
of
Like,
behavior.
They do.
when the teacher about to say, I'm gonna call your parents, I seen kids, hey, call them.
Shaking. I used to be
Call her.
shaking.
I bet-
I'd be
I bet she
oh my
You
Because,
all
God.
used to be shaking, but
like-
these kids are daring you to call because
Like-
what's she gonna do? Because half the time they know that their parent got the school blocked. Or they blocked the school number from their parents' phone. So even if you do call the school, call from the school, it's not gonna go through. So of course I found the back end of it. Get your mama on the line from your cell phone. Call your mom from your cell phone. Put it on speaker so I can have a conversation.
They smart.
They real smart.
They
is
look
incredible.
smart.
real smart. They will block the school quick.
Somebody did
Quick.
that.
I ain't never thought about blocking. I just used to give them my phone number.
Man, I did that shit. What you
Block
talking
the
about?
school. Block it.
I did that shit.
Yeah, when you because for some reason Caribbean parents don't ever want to fill out the info sheet. All right, bet.
man,
do
man, listen, I'm at Danny. I got like 2 D's, right? This is the start of me like actually not caring about school anymore. But I'm out here forging this shit to look like an A, man.
A D to an A.
Of course.
You put the little line.
Of
Little
course.
something. You can change your S to
I
an
had-
A.
let me tell you something. I thought I was the god, boy. I thought I was the goat. I said I could probably.
Yeah, until she took that
And I'm
game.
such a hustler. Like I was like, yo, if anybody else get a D, I'm gonna do this same shit and charge them like $5. You know what I'm saying? I got one person, just one, but it didn't work. His mom whooped his ass. He came back to me. He was like, Martin,
Trust me.
I'm never coming to you again. My mom whooped the shit out of me. Like put me in the shower. Maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
That
that's a
sting.
real ass whooping.
When you
know
get in the
what I'm saying?
shower,
Sting,
they
that
try to be my
sting.
friend after you whip my ass. I don't want to eat shit.
What you want to eat? What you want for dinner? You just beat me. What do you mean? What I want?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the belt with the fucking rhinestones on it. They
I
used to
want
be
you out of my
oh my
face.
God. Hey,
So,
parents.
so do you think that because they're actually learning this behavior from home, so when they actually do attack a teacher, do you think that their parents should now have all full responsibility of a charge? Because technically, I feel like they should be charged.
I mean, it's a minor, so the parents.
No,
is gonna,
that's exactly why
Yeah.
the parents should need to go to jail. So now you're gonna realize now
there's-
you need to
So
discipline your
I get
child.
what you're saying, but the parents going to jail for the kids' actions. He's a minor, but he's not like he still did it. You feel what I'm saying? The parents are not going to go to jail for
I
that.
don't- I don't think
but
a
that's
parent-
like the little elementary school kid that shot the teacher. She now has to go to jail for that though.
Who the
that's
the parents?
Gun was involved.
Yeah, she has to go to jail.
That's different though. It's an elementary school. Where did he get that gun? He's a kid. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what it was. It was like
That's what it-
negligence.
You got an adult.
Yeah.
You got an adult thing in your hand, but dang, what I was gonna say?
I don't think parents are expecting to go. They expecting for their child to go out and attack a teacher. You feel what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's still some mental
And then-
aspect. Like you still have to respect an adult.
And then like
feel
what you were
I
saying,
believe it.
like what you were saying about the phone, like it's crack. Like literally they say like one of the worst things you could do like for like even a kid, like toddlers and things like that, is give them a smartphone. Their brain has the same effect if you scan a kid's brain with a smartphone and a person that's just taking cocaine, same effect, bro. The same type of dopamine or happiness that they get. So sometimes some parents may not even know that their kid can act like this because some parents never had to take their phone away from their kid. You feel me? Yeah. And then now this is the first time this kid don't got they fix, don't got they crack. Now it's like, oh shit, this is how they respond. The parents didn't even know that because they never even had to take their phone away from their kid. And it's like, oh, when his phone get took, now this nigga get violent. Like it was one kid, he was a disabled kid, like, and this teacher took his Nintendo Switch. The
Switch, yeah.
Oh my god.
That was like Orlando.
I remember that.
She was stretched, bro. Not moving. Like, yeah.
And it starts like this is why I say, man, like we are the best generation right now, because I swear to God, like the kids that come from us, like it's like, fam, like growing up and realizing why my parents did what they did. I'm Jamaican, so 2 parents, both Jamaican. A lot of that shit was not going down in the crib.
Right.
I had a lot of, you know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah. So at the same time, I think it's important, which is what you're showing us now. It's really important to be on top of what your kids are doing.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that just be with them all day, all the time, be on top, because that's how my parents were. Always on top of me. I had no breathing room. I couldn't grow, you know what I'm saying? And then when I did grow, I wanted to be outside. So now I want to be in the streets. It leads you. So it has to be a balance, you feel what I'm saying?
And especially like to your point of like staying on top of the kids and what they're doing, because most parents, I talk to parents on the phone and I'm like, hey, your child is on Instagram and she has this page and she's posting, subliminal things about different little girls around the school. And then the parents are like, no, not my daughter, because I follow her online. No, mom, your child has 3 pages.
It's crazy.
Like parents don't even know that their children has 3 Instagram pages. They have the main page that their family members follow them on. They have their spam page, and they have their private page. Absolutely. Like they got it going on social media.
Man, all you gotta do is grab the phone one time, go to Instagram, hold that little side button, and be like,
you
got like 7 pages. You got 7 pages, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But so you've been kind of based off. Cause now I feel old sitting in front of you, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm 29, but still, I feel so old because like I still remember my first day at Dandy. I remember going on a bus. I was in the portables for. I had what was her name? She was my history teacher. We was in the back portable. She passed away, I believe. I can't remember her name, man.
Miss Foster? No, not Miss Foster.
Not Miss Foster. I can't remember her name, man. But one of the questions here is pretty much, the end goal for your career, because you've been doing this so long. I feel like there has to be a means to an end. You know what I mean? We get into these careers to either retire. That's the goal. Like, let's say
I want her to stop.
You know what I'm saying?
My personal opinion.
She texts me all the time. She's like, I need you to quit. I need you to no longer be a teacher because look at this and
find a different occupation.
And I just be like,
I feel you love doing it.
I do.
At the same time,
and that is the big difference too.
At the same time, the end goal, like your overall, do you have like a exit plan in a sense? I think everybody should when they do a career.
Right now I am in my last 2 semesters of graduate school. So I'm studying to be a school counselor. So the end goal is to be a school counselor. Last semester I just finished up my practicum, which is like field experience internship kind of thing. And then next school year I'll be fully in internship for graduation in December. So then once I graduate in December, of course, the goal for me is to go to a high school, be a school counselor there, and then, of course, be able to work with like a bigger population, pretty much doing the same thing I've done all of my time of being an educator, but not in the classroom, but having that same
still want to hand
impact.
in the school
I still want to hand it.
What exactly does a school counselor do? Because I felt like the only time I ever had to see a school counselor
ass was coming.
No, these girls were trying to bully me at school, and then all of a sudden this school counselor thing came into play to be a mediator and all type of other than that, I don't see them because on TV it's a different visual of what a school counselor is. They actually talk to you about your grades, where you're going to go, this, that. They help you get into college and certain things. I feel like I didn't get that when I was in high school. I didn't get no
middle
counselor
school, high school counselors, of course, they have different roles and responsibilities. If I were to stay in middle school as a school counselor, I would mainly focus on testing, which sucks because they need a testing coordinator in middle school that would handle that like they do in high school. But middle school counselors is all testing. They're supposed to be doing classroom guidance. They're supposed to be doing small groups, counseling, individual counseling, as well as conflict mediation. A lot of times it doesn't happen because there's so many other things that the school counselor has to do. But I also feel like by choice, they're not doing as much as they should when it comes to like the mental health and making sure the kids don't have those kind of bullying things going on or being proactive. A lot of times I feel like in education, they're very reactive. They're waiting for things to happen. And then once it happens, then they put that fire out. Okay, that's going on over there. I'm going to put that fire out versus hearing what's happening beforehand, because half the time at the school, the kids are telling me almost all the little pockets of things going on. I go and tell the school counselor and they're like, oh yeah, we knew. Oh yeah, we know about that. You know, but then my thing is, what you gonna do about it before they get into this fight?
That be pissing me off.
That sounds exactly how Crazy. HR works in jobs.
Work, period.
No, that's exactly how HR is. They don't do any. I don't understand why they get paid so much. They don't do nothing.
Everything is reactive.
And then speaking of that, the situation with the little boy in the wheelchair.
That shit pissed me off.
Yeah, that was. I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of brings.
They stole his wheelchair.
Yeah.
See,
and then they went online and they was posting about it,
and then oddly enough, I'm not making excuses for the kids, but I feel like they're so silly. I don't even think they saw it as we're bullying this kid.
I want to go viral.
They're just so silly. Viral. They want to say we gonna use this wheelchair. We gonna post it online to get a bunch of clicks, a bunch of views, a bunch of people laughing with us, and then they realize later, wait, that kind of was wrong. But in that moment, they're so used to being silly, so used to wanting to have a viral moment, they see everything as a joke.
Bro, I'm gonna pull up to the school and I'm punching a 12-year-old. Like, that's what I'm doing.
I got a question.
That's the time I'm on. Like,
because like I was saying, most of the teachers, 75% of them are women. Do you feel like if there was more male representation, a lot of the bullshit that's been happening wouldn't be happening?
Well, man, male, and I'm sorry, Ms. Simmons, cut you out, because I wanted to jump into what he's saying. You see how like the male representation is weird nowadays as well. You don't notice that? Like,
well, it's only 25% of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you,
I'm gonna give you an example, Mr.
How many male teachers have you had in total?
I'm gonna give you an example. Mr. Hilliard.
I knew that was
Mr. Hilliard. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Samay. I had Mr. Samay.
I'm gonna go ahead and you remember Mr. Hilliard?
I do.
All right, now male representation. You gotta teach like Mr. Hilliard in your class. And then you doing the dumb shit. What he just said is kind of like, you can see why, like, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of weird men. There's a lot of weird men. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Mr. Hilliard.
Okay. All right. So you got Mr. Hilliard and then you got Mr. Gaynor.
Mr. Gaynor.
He was very.
Can I say something else?
He was like a preach.
Can I say something else? What was that other dude name who used to tuck our shirts in for us? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking
Mr. Pope.
Man, damn,
Mr.
dog.
Pope. Tuck in your shirt. Come here, young lady.
Mr. Pope.
Bruh, he grabbed. I'll never forget, man.
He still is in education.
No.
To this day. He left Dandy maybe like 6 years ago, 6-7 years ago.
And he at Dillon now?
He's at Lauderdale Manors, the little education center, the old elementary school.
Wow.
Now it's an education center, and he does security over there.
Okay.
That man is like 6'10", bro.
That man.
He is tall as hell, bro. He used to grab niggas in the hallway, Benji. He used to be like, come here.
Snatch him right on
he
up.
talked like Shaq, too. Come here, boy.
Yeah. He gonna snatch you up.
The reason why I was asking that, because I saw something where they were saying, as far as for a black boy, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a single family home, so it's going to be a mom. And
I was just going to say that.
You have female energy from when you're at home to when you go to school. 9 times out of 10, most of your teachers are going to be female too. So they looking for male energy. That's why they turn to the streets. That's why they be on the block. That's the only place they going to find that male energy. Everywhere else, home, school, it's going to be women all the time. So I feel like if there were more male if it was even 50% male, 50% women when it came to teachers, I feel like things wouldn't be as bad. You feel me? I feel like that's what's lacking as far as more male representation, to where it's like, just like teachers can play like a mother figure role to these students. Like, a lot of people don't have that father figure role in their life.
To be honest, I feel the opposite, because I feel like the fact that a lot of our kids, and like I said, just speaking from what I've experienced in my years, a lot of the kids in my school do come from a single parent household. So they're used to that mother, sisters, that kind of thing. They're not used to having a male figure in their life. Yeah. I've seen situations where we've had boys at our school to where when the security or when a male teacher or whatever, when they try to check them or get on them, The boy's not trying to hear that because who are you talking to?
They're not used to.
They're not used to it, so it's automatic. It's automatic energy, like negative energy towards that male. But then when it's me or like another female who's similar to me, to where it's like we have that same relationship, when we check that student the same way that male did, it's taken differently. Yeah, he's listening to me. Yeah, but he's not listening to that man because who is that man? He ain't my daddy. Yeah, but your daddy's not home either. Yeah. But their thing is he ain't my daddy.
Because the thing with women though, like, because it's like y'all can discipline them, but because that y'all are mothering to them too, they'll still try to take advantage. Like even with kids, like if you tell them to stop, they're gonna stop for a little bit and they're gonna start knuckling around. But when daddy say stop, that shit come with more. Like usually, like when you think of daddy, you think of discipline, like the real deal. I done fucked up discipline.
I don't went through it.
You feel me? So like,
but that's
like I said, your mom gonna beat you and then ask you if you want something to eat later. Your daddy gonna make you do yard work and some shit.
My mama used to beat my ass all the time, but like I said, when my dad whipped my ass, bro, I just stopped doing what I was doing. I just stopped doing what I was doing, bro.
Enough of this.
Yeah. It's that heart stopping conversation. Like you do some shit, you gonna be like, all right, watch this.
It's not that. It's that my dad
speaker.
But my dad got a presence. Like when he walk in the room, he controls the whole room, bro. So it's like he did not play. You feel what I'm saying?
Conqueror's hockey.
It was my old girl used to tell me, don't maybe call your daddy, and I used to be like, hey, he whooped me yet. You feel what I'm saying? That nigga whooped my ass. Hey, I love you.
Do you also feel like the lack of a male figure in the home eventually causes a man to not respect women in the near future?
I don't agree.
That's a question. Hold on.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm thinking on that one. That's a tough one. I feel like a lot of times it kind of emasculates a man to where it's like because you don't see that male figure on a regular basis and how that male manages his household and how he takes care of his kids and his responsibilities. A lot of times they don't see it, so they don't know how to do it when it's now their turn. So it's like you're used to your mother doing a lot of things for you, cooking your dinner, like you said earlier, making sure your clothes are washed, all these kind of things. So then when they get in relationships, I'm pushing a little ahead, but when they get into relationships, they're expecting the woman to do the same thing that their mother was doing because they're not seeing it from that man's perspective.
So basically, when a dude gets with a girl, he does not understand that was raised in a single home, does not understand the effect of this is how my dad used to treat me.
They've never seen it.
It's very interesting.
It's foreign.
It's very
foreign
interesting.
to them. Exactly. It's like
it's interesting.
That's why when that energy comes around, they're not used to. Because by the time they get into middle school, 5 years in elementary, they probably done seen out of all, because elementary you had a whole bunch of teachers and things too.
Yeah.
Out of they probably 20, like I said, 25% of them was probably men.
Real low.
So they that's if you lucky. So they haven't seen male energy, and then when you get to middle school, puberty, and all of this, and I think I'm a man now, and I never had to deal with a man.
Right.
Fuck you, nigga.
Right.
Don't talk to me.
And that's what it is.
Because bro, when I was in elementary, the man was teaching like PE and shit, like teaching PE and music classes.
If they got that.
Yeah, PE and music classes.
I think Hilliard was the only language arts teacher I can think of in all my time at Dandy.
Oh, Mr. Sime. Mr. Sime at Smart School.
Yeah, it was mainly like science, PE, maybe history, and that was really it.
What happened to the real dark guy that taught science?
I know who you're talking about. Holy shit! He was closer by the lunchroom.
Yeah,
he had a class.
I think he was our first period teacher.
He taught science and he wore them yellow shirts.
On his
I remember that.
I forgot his name.
Niggas used to be roasting him, man.
I know we had Mr. Sandville. I don't know.
God,
yes,
my mind is blown now. I think that's what it is, bro.
That's who it is.
He was actually a good teacher. He really was a good teacher.
He was
literally at Nova right now, and my cousin who's in 8th grade, that's his teacher. Like he showed me his report card.
Mr. Gain is still teaching?
I don't think so.
Cause he was like literally like the hood teacher. Like
he was. We had like I said earlier, we had a lot of teachers. I ain't saying no names who weren't even certified, but they were just out there.
God
they was just out there. And that's why, like you were saying to your point earlier, that's why I feel like we've had such a rise in incidents with kids and fighting with kids and sexual misconduct with kids because of the requirements.
It's very interesting because I was playing ball in Coral Springs.
Anybody can be a teacher now.
I was playing ball in Coral Springs, And this is one like number one. Let me just put this out there. I feel like everybody who lives in Coral Springs are weird. Like I'm gonna just say that Coral Springs is like another universe. They're weird.
Weirdos.
Like they really are weird. like when I go up there, cause I'm from Lake, so when I go up there and play ball with my brother, and I'm like looking at his friends, how they talk, how they act. It's just like stop talking to me, bro. You weird, bro. You feel me? They can't.
I actually low key feel like that too about any other.
You feel me?
Like if you're not from the hood, like for real, I just look at you like
just weird. You weird. Like
trying way too hard.
You know what I'm saying? But basically, the point I'm trying to get to is basically when I was up there playing ball, it's my brother's friend, so they're pretty good at ball. That's it. I don't but it's just one kid, like it's just one kid, right? This one kid. He was actually pretty decent, but he always had an attitude whenever he had the ball. Like, I mean, he'll take a shot, I'll be defending him. Like, it's basketball, bro. I'm putting my hand on this nigga's chest, trying to stop. So he get mad because I'm putting my hand on him, doing all this other shit. So I'm talking to him like I'm talking to somebody in legs. I said, hold on, nigga. Like, I don't stay up here, bro. Yeah, so whatever you want to do, bro. Whatever you want to do. Like,
That's
so
the time you on. Okay.
Basically, when he, I guess his parents came to pick him up, he lives in a 2-man household. So when I saw that, I said, it's all making sense. My brother's like, I fucking told you, you don't have to get that energy with him. Like, you just don't do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta, like, he's already like in that, you know what I'm saying? But not to throw any negative shade on that, but his way he acted kind of made me realize it's just a different world that he lives in. You know what I mean?
Sees at home,
And bro, like I am not a judgmental person. I have two or three gay friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care about all the shit they doing, but the shit that me and Nate talk about in the group chat on like almost damn near in the daily, you got like women who are. I don't want to talk about the you know what I'm talking about, bro. Like the girl.
It's your podcast.
You know what I'm talking about. You talking about like the only thing I can't fuck with on that shit is the men who become women, right? And they participate in women's sports.
I don't agree with that.
That's what I can't. And you got people like, what's her name? Brittany Griner. I can't believe she said that.
I need her to be checked too, to be
for
honest.
real. There's something
in the milk ain't clean.
Hey,
but I don't agree.
That's
with
a nigga, like straight out the gate.
Hello,
that's a nigga right
She
there.
need to be checked while she around here advocating for the trans community. Trans what? I don't even know what it's called. Trans.
She got a womb, bro.
Women.
But like what Mario just say, they in a different world than we.
That's the only thing I can't fuck with, bro, because that's a whole nother world. But bro, you're literally stronger than these women, bro.
Absolutely.
You're gonna win. Like you're gonna win.
That's like that swimmer.
I feel like
Leah Thomas.
Leah Thomas.
I feel like it's also a little low key, but a little bit over low key of delusion. Because the certain things that they want to advocate for, it's like, it's physically impossible. You want to sit here and buy pads like you got a period.
Yeah. And they're
what
getting
is wrong with you?
too.
Trans community, I just want to let you know here at the LTD podcast, we love y'all, all right? We love y'all. I just want to say that, but I just don't love what y'all do. Don't look at Benji, all right? Don't look at Benji.
I don't look at Benji.
Don't look at Benji. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all. Don't attack my podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Stay over.
Do what y'all want, but just do it over there.
It's like this, because I remember it's like this. Like how delude. Like I remember it was a guy. He was fighting for trans rights and whatever. I think he was an EMT. So the dude said, if you had a trans woman come to you and said that she thinks she's having a miscarriage, you really gonna check that? And then he just looked and he just couldn't say shit.
He was shocked.
Like he was just like,
hell
Too
no.
stunned to speak. Well, I will say this. Even in education, not even the trans
I don't believe in them using the same bathrooms as.
They're not pushing that at Dandy, right?
They don't push trans in education. Of course, DeSantis is trying to like get rid of even what we currently practice. But I have kids right now who tell me to call them certain pronouns.
Wow.
Like 8th graders, 7th graders. Like 3 years ago is when it first happened, when COVID first happened, where we were virtual, and one girl wanted me to call her them, they. But she didn't want me to call her.
I'm literally calling you by only your name. I'm only addressing you by your name. And only your name.
Go ahead and finish your point.
And I'm literally calling you what you prefer to be called. That's a respect thing. And that's how I feel like it's kind of like, as a teacher, you have to kind of pick your battles. Because right now, I have 2 girls in a class. One wants to be called them, they, and the other one wants to be called he, them, they. I don't know why, but at the same time, when they explained it to me, the one that wants to be called them, they said that they want to be called them, they because they don't prescribed to male, female. They feel like they are just a person. So at the end of the day, whether I respect what you do, whether I agree with what you do, I'm going to acknowledge your feelings. And when we're in class, I'm going to call them they.
Are
That
these
is more
Caucasian
complicated
kids?
than
One
math.
is black and one is Spanish.
This is a black kid.
The black the black girl wants to be called he, them, they.
This
And
is
I'm confused
more
'cause I'm the
complicated than math. Math and science put together more complicated.
It's not. It's really not. Because when I'm talking to them in class and I'm saying there or them or they or whatever, and the kids pick up on it, they're like, wait, why you calling such and such them or they? That's their preference. That's their preference. That's his preference.
Get in your bag, Benji.
No, so wait, you said
That's their preference.
No, but you so disappointed, bro.
you said that they'd rather be them because they said that they're not he or
They
she,
don't
but they're
prescribe
just,
to a social
but isn't
boy,
them
girl.
meaning that you're including both male and female?
Yes.
I have no idea. I'm not even gonna hold you. I have no idea.
That's what they means. If look at them over there, that means that there's
that means it
those
could be
guys-
a male, it could be a female, it could be male or female. But because
Crazy.
they don't say they don't want to be called a she or a her, and they want to be just not a gender at all,
they don't wanna-
then okay.
yeah.
But then at the end of the day,
Man.
we
You wanna know
have
the-
so many kids who are like, they're part of the LGBT community.
I
It
s-
is a lot.
I saw-
I call it ligabicata.
I saw listen, I saw one. It was a documentary where it was a documentary,
The
right?
alphabet crew.
It was what did they call it? I think they said it was somewhere in a state. The teachers couldn't stop these kids from like making animal noises because there's a sexuality where
Pansexual?
No, it's
I don't know.
like furries or some shit like where
That's new.
your sexual preference deals with animals and shit like
Jesus
that. So they
Christ,
be
bro.
growling and so the teacher cannot
Next.
tell the person to stop doing that because it's hindering their sexuality.
Next.
Hey, bring bullying back. We need y'all. Bring bullying
Next.
back now.
Next.
Bring
Next.
bullying back.
I'm just letting you know where
Bring all bullying that back.
All of that.
So now they're trying to endorse that these kids should have sex with animals. Okay, next. Next.
That's bestiality.
No, I think
It's
what
called
the
furry.
one
That's what that's called.
It's,
That's a porn. That's bestiality.
That's a fetish.
Yeah, they like to dress up in animal clothes and have sex, like, and then they said that like some of these white kids, that's one their sexual preference, so they'll bark and do all shit.
They need to
You
drop
can't
some of
tell
these
them
little-
not to do that because that's part of their sexuality.
They need to drop some of these white kids off to somebody grandma's house and deal apart and let them stay with them for at least 2 weeks. It'll all be okay. It'll be okay.
not Dillard Park.
Leave it with my mama
12th
for 2
Street.
weeks.
Yeah.
So just kind of, just switching subjects really quick because I don't want. Oh, I fucking hate this podcast. don't
probably already say that
don't
anyway.
Dave Chappelle my podcast, y'all boys. You know what I'm saying? But this one is the most egregious one that I wanted to talk about. The Mexican mother who strangled her rapist got sentenced to 6 years, man.
She should have got sentenced to a Nobel Peace Prize.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobel.
There's no way that you are killing the person who sexually assaulted you, and you are going to prison for that. That's the same thing with the Centoya Brown state case.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's-
Like
that's-
Centoya,
that's-
she
that's
should have
why-
done time. He was her pimp.
That's why I be telling women as a pistol instructor, it's all about. I don't want to like I'm trying to tell you how to get away with murder, but I tell women all the time, like I was like, listen, if a guy rapes you for 24 hours straight, knocks out all your teeth, this and that, whatever, and he's done raping you, you have a gun sitting right there, and he's turning his back to leave the door, you shoot him in the back, you're gonna go to jail because at that very moment he was not a threat to you. And you took it upon yourself to kill him if it was during the process and this and that and you shot him, yes. But you know what I'm saying? If he's at that moment not engaging in the act of violence and you kill him, then you're gonna be charged. You
But I
feel
feel
me?
like that taps into the fight, flight, or freeze response because no one knows how they're going to respond in any kind of high risk
But that's what-
situation until you're in it.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's easy to like be the Monday morning quarterback and be like, yo, if this happens to you, you should do this or you should do that. But in that moment, if that woman's being assaulted, she might be freezing in that moment to where, oh my God, I'm being assaulted. You physically can't move in that freeze moment. In that flight moment, all you're thinking about is, once he's done, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going about my business. Or like you saying, that fight response to where, all right,
Just
we
don't
about
shoot
to
him in the
solve
back.
this.
Just don't shoot him
But
in the back.
You really don't know how a person's going to respond.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
That's like that white man that literally shot the dude for kicking his car. Like he went straight to jail.
Man, I seen this video that they call. I'll be at work. You know, I work at a call center, so I just be on the computer just looking at YouTube videos and the calls don't be coming through. Man, let me tell you something, man. I seen this one video.
Stop working.
You know what I'm saying? He a hater.
You need to be helping these. You need to be helping these customers.
He work at FedEx. He hit these boxes. He's making good bread, but he see me sitting down. He like, oh, you lazy as hell, nigga. Boy, I got this overtime check coming, nigga. Fuck you talking about? I'm sitting down getting money. You know what I mean?
It's worth it.
But I'm gonna say this. I saw this one video where I guess this girl's ex-boyfriend, the mom they went grocery shopping. And the mom and the girl walked in the house pretty fast. So this is all caught on the Ring camera, you know what I mean? So I'm watching it. I'm just so entertained by this. The ex-boyfriend, he came in. He had an Echo shirt, by the way. So you know what type of white guy he is. You know what I'm saying? Dangerous.
You already know. You
know what I mean? So he walking in. She's like, she doesn't want to talk to you, Billy. Billy is literally fucking banging the door. The dad is like, yo, listen, I have a gun, bro. I will literally shoot you. He don't care. He's opening the mesh door and he's just like this, trying to get into the house, bro.
Dang, Billy.
So the dad just fired on him. He just shot him like 3 times. Mm-hmm. The way he went back, he got hit and he was just like, oh. Then he just dropped. I say all the neighbors came out. Mm-hmm. And all the neighbors, like the police comes. He was like, yeah, man, he was trying to break in. And he's dead now. Yeah, he's gone. I said, just casual like that. Jeez. But the dad was protecting the daughter. I just saw that shit, man. I just saw that shit. I was just like, God
why
damn.
do you feel that's so entitled for them to do stuff like that? Like, do you really think that this little girl is your property?
What are you talking about? He's protecting his daughter.
Understand? No, I'm talking about the boyfriend. The boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Why
shit crazy.
Why do you?
Shit crazy.
Like, do they not teach?
But he's emotional. He's emotional. Like, see, when it comes to men, like, when it's
who gonna teach y'all to handle y'all emotions? Because apparently y'all learning from women and it ain't cutting it. It is not cutting it.
No, hold on.
Y'all are very emotional.
I'm protecting my investment. Once I put money in your ass, you finna get your ass outside. We finna go. It's simple as that.
Men are.
I tell your ass come outside. Let's go.
But this is what I'm saying. Like when it comes, there are certain things that like a dad needs to be there for, and it's those uncomfortable conversations that he needs. Those uncomfortable moments he needs to be there. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, Benji, with your point.
He's entrusting.
Women will want men to open up and be more vulnerable to where they accept it. Once you be too vulnerable and too emotional, and it's like, all right. Like, it's like they want to gauge how much emotion.
Man, I don't want to get into that. All I'm saying is this, bro. All I'm saying is this. Like those uncomfortable moments that the dad needs to be there. He needs to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because like me, for example, my dad is there. My dad is there, but he's not there. You know what I'm saying? My dad will make food, go to his room, sleep. Me and my dad never had uncomfortable conversations. So there's a lot of things that I had to learn from myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But that's also what I'm saying too. Like you never had to have an uncomfortable conversation with your father. How are you gonna now go teach your son about uncomfortable conversations when you yourself never had that?
Because it's experience. You go through things and you experience things and
trials and tribulations. Trial and error.
Your dad went through experiences too. Why did
he just chose to hold it in? That's what I'm saying.
But there's a lot. But that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of men that are holding in.
Yeah.
They don't really parent their kids.
That's the point I'm trying to make, and that's what I'm saying. Like those uncomfortable conversations need to be had. Because at the end of the day, like, why the fuck am I learning from all these fucking experiences and going through all this shit when my dad could have just been like, hey, no, handle it like this.
Right.
You get what I'm trying to say? And that's the problem. Like we get into this point where we're dating a girl. We don't realize we're getting manipulated. We don't realize because we really want to be with this person. And you see, it's always that one girl that really like, I really like her, and you feel like the feelings is being reciprocated, but our mind is not processing like, yo, this girl is really fucking my head up. I went through that in 2018.
Shit, I went through it last week. I gotta tell you. Speaking of that, I went through it last week.
Speaking of that, I'm sorry, Miss Simmons. Do you feel like it is a better way for women to handle their aggression instead of putting their hands on a man? Well, we can't count me because I'm gonna hit you in your shit.
She talking about me. You feel me, bitch?
So let me ask you: are you ever gonna call the police when you in a domestic dispute?
No, I'm not that type of person.
But go ahead, Miss Simmons.
Somebody else might have to call the police.
Basically, what happened? Excuse my language. You know,
it's a war zone.
I had a little female I've been dealing with.
Go ahead, Miss Simmons. You can make your point.
I just feel like look, if you don't want that smoke back on you, you might want to keep your hands to yourself.
You a gangster.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you hit that man, expect to have that same energy back on you, because why do you feel that you got to resort to violence to express yourself when you literally didn't have to do that? So don't get mad at him for rocking your shit because you hit him first.
Okay, but look now. Now I'm talking to you.
I think I better let it go.
Now I'm talking to you.
This Shantae talking.
Okay, I'm talking to you.
There we go.
You remember when Popovich fought Vidal?
Yeah.
I know for a fact that could come out of both of our mouths, but is we really living by it? No, because and in the moment when your emotions really take over, like when a woman gets mad and she gets mad, like
and in the moment, that's why I feel like even in my time in therapy and all the different things, because of course me being a school counselor, I have to myself be in counseling because I can't help others if I don't help myself first.
Right.
That's real.
Yes. So I've learned in counseling that when you're involved in those situations and those high emotional situations, you literally need to go with your second thought every single time. Because your first thought is always going to get you in trouble. That first thought is always going to be, you try me, I'm about to get you like right here in that minute. You literally got to think of that second thought.
Because this is the thing. Because 9 times out of 10, when it comes to emotionally, a woman can tear a man down emotionally, mentally.
Oh, I've heard that so many times. Your
so
words
you're gonna mentally abuse me and put hands on me? One of them you can only get one.
okay.
Because like you say,
You
a
can only get one, bro.
woman's words
If
hurt,
that,
but a man's actions hurt.
both? Mental and physical? You gonna get your ass whooped.
Okay.
He's not lying.
But
He's not lying.
which one is more fatal? In action?
action?
Which one is more fatal? In action or words? Which one
They're
is more
both
fatal?
equally as fatal.
You think so?
For you talk. Oh, hold on. In the sense of the direction of the man.
Imagine if you saying shit. Imagine if you saying shit to where you're really belittling him, then you slap the shit out of him. He's going to fucking hurt you, bro. He's gonna fucking hurt you, bro.
Happened to me last
You
week.
bitch ass nigga, you broke ass nigga. Fuck you, nigga.
Happened to me last week.
You in your last week.
So
I'm not trying to say it like that, but
Keep your hands off these men.
Nah, like it comes
I'm
to
not
a breaking
blaming the
point.
victim, but keep your hands
You
off
have
these
some
men.
females that try to like tear a man down and try to attack a dude's character, but you have some females that like shit happens, but you know as a man you not in the wrong. You feel what I'm saying?
The thing too though,
Simple as
what
that.
through experience, females. Well, I'm gonna say like women will know what can really get your ass, like, really
she
get you
know
to that
you.
point because she knows you. You get what I'm saying?
That's why they want you to open up and be vulnerable, so they know.
Right.
when they gotta use it.
Little
Right.
dick
That's
nigga,
why they
you
laughing
feel what I'm
at me
saying?
right now.
Little dick ass nigga,
I know the game.
tighty whitey's wearing nigga. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, bitch, I'm a kid. You feel what I'm saying?
Bitch, I kill you.
I love
And your like turn of voice. Bitch,
Yeah.
But that goes. That's what I'm. And just to go back and then reel that shit back in. It's important for men to have these uncomfortable conversations with their sons because we get to a point where we're so emotionally attached to a person. It becomes, of course, you will label it as an obsession, but we're not really obsessed. We're really like trying to figure out like,
What the fuck?
do I really? No, we know we want to be with this person, but damn, like, what's the end goal? You know what I'm saying? We just really want to be with this person, and that's all we thinking about. So, there's like you got to break that emotional like. You gotta really be like, son, listen, bro. She don't want you, bro. Straight up. You gotta tell her straight up. All right, bro, she's using you for $5 for lunch money. All right? Man, the story that shout out Kirsten, who told on the last podcast
shout out
episode
Kirsten.
we had. She was giving her son $1 for something for school. The son was giving the daughter, or son was giving
his money.
His money away to a girl. You know what I'm saying? And Kirsten had to
But
say,
she was getting money from
You know what I mean?
somebody else too.
right. So she was basically using her
She
son.
was using them young.
Yeah.
Told her that.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's the
Kirsten
real
had to reel
question.
that shit in. Shout out Kirsten. She had to reel that shit in. Like, son, I gave you this money for you. Don't, you know what I mean? So great mom, Kirsten. Shout out to Kirsten on that last
She
episode. It
legit.
was great. She's that's the type of moms we need right there. You know?
So
Yeah.
I got a question for y'all when y'all age as of right now. So who do y'all?
Whoa. Don't make me feel old. Just continue though. But
Very disrespectful.
very
We're gonna let you slide,
disrespectful.
though.
I am 15.
You up there too now? you right with us, Harris.
I could be however old I ain't never
Yeah.
gonna look it. But anyways, so where do y'all go to? Like, okay, for the ones who do not have a father figure really presently in their life, who do they go to?
Men.
You have
Because they already lost. They already don't know a lot of shit. They already be like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know this, that. They don't know certain solutions to their problems. So all they do is create more problems.
Or you have real niggas who, you know, because there's okay, number one.
Some of them.
Hold on, I know what you about to say. All right, you hate homeboys. I hate you.
I don't hate them.
Well, you don't, but you have a great.
I have an opinion on them.
Negative.
Them niggas ain't my friend. Fuck homeboy.
But the thing about it is that's why, and I know you can contest to this. Like shows, like whatever TV show you're wearing, my favorite show growing up, because my dad is not there, Naruto, right? Naruto is a great example of like a kid who.
What if they don't watch TV? Huh? They don't watch TV, don't do none of that.
Bro, are they just in the streets? What are we talking about here?
Yeah. They was outside.
It's gonna be the
Niggas
same.
Niggas watching TV now.
No, they wasn't. Not everybody.
Man, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know.
Boys go to their homeboys.
Yeah, is that? But see, like for me, it was
the same one.
I mean, for me, it was Bob Marley, Malcolm X, and Muhammad Ali.
Bomb.
Like those was literally like.
I don't want to talk to Benji no more. You got
like
different type
nah,
of
like I'm talking about. I remember it was one time before they even had like minutes on phones. When I was in Tallahassee at FAM, Realist College. They didn't have Metro there yet, right? They didn't have, so we had the
Metro PCS.
No,
I was about to say.
they didn't have Metro. Okay. Metro ain't working Tallahassee back then.
Okay,
like 06, 07. So I had to get on my sister Verizon plan. I remember I fucked up, bro. I was watching nothing but Malcolm X videos. I ran up her bill to like $700.
Sheesh.
Cause I'm just listening to this nigga like, bruh, I fuck with him. Like that nigga, like basically shit like that's like they became my daddy. Like I was like, bro, I stand on that.
You listen to them now. These new generation of kids listen to Future and NBA Young.
Bruh, what?
Look at John Moran, Mikey
That's
Williams.
what they listen to. That's their idols.
That's basically like, spiritual fathers. You can have spiritual fathers.
And that's what I'm saying. To kind of like wrap up your point, like the ones that's outside and shit like that. And then sometimes the dad, like I say, my dad is there, but he's not there, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I represent those men. You know what I mean? Like ones who have to like
and if these
raise themselves a little bit.
And if these kids out here really in the streets outside like that, I'm sure it's a big homie on the corner like, hey, young nigga, you supposed to you'll move like that.
I had that.
I'm sure that's damn near in every hood like you'll move
no,
like that.
I'm not saying y'all
not
are
now.
wrong.
Not now a lot. Not now a lot.
They encourage it now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying y'all are wrong. Of course, there's always a big homie, but that don't mean that what the big homie advice is telling you is the right thing to do. But because you don't have the real presence of a father, you're literally taking everything that this person's saying as gold, and it's like it's not.
But what
They're
about
actually setting you up for failure?
Which is true.
And you're not even realizing you keep going down the wrong fucking path, and you don't see it. You keep going to this person and this person and this person. These people don't even have their lives together. Why
but that's
the
what
fuck
I'm
you
saying.
talking to them?
I was a victim of that, dealing with another nigga who I felt like I was looking up to this nigga, and he really was like a bum. Like he was really like just outside smoking all day. I'm thinking that this nigga is
on
like,
the corner.
You know what I mean? He just words he's telling me and the advice he's giving me is gold, and I'm picking from it and I'm learning from it. But at the same time, like I didn't really realize who he is. My dad realized who he was, and that's why my dad had to finally, stop being that not there. You feel me? He just kind of stepped in and was like, bro, like this is not the person that you should be like talking to for real, like for advice like that. You feel me? Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but like I said, I represent those whose father was there but not there. You feel me?
Trust me, now the people on the corner, they are encouraging this generation to do wrong. Like you ain't got no positivity out there.
Yeah. Another point that I wanted to kind of get into really quick, because we are kind of over time too. You can point of view on Florida banning the teachings on slavery. That's a good ass topic.
Fuck DeSantis.
I feel like that's DeSantis pandering to his base. Because of course, in the same breath of him signing bills to not teach African American studies and outlawing diversity and inclusion programs in colleges and universities, he's mandating that we teach Asian education.
And you know that would include like getting rid of like fraternities and sororities based off of that?
Yes.
Like that would mean like alphas, Qs, deltas,
get them off the yard.
Like get all that shit out of there. Yeah. That's what that means.
But it's just but I feel like it also like the stuff that he's doing is definitely going to backfire in the end.
White supremacy at its finest.
But it's literally that. Like he's doing all of these things
he
to
exposing
pander.
who he is. He exposing who he really is.
I mean, you should already do that from the jump. Like Like, just like how I probably be looked at, most of all white people collectively, I probably be looked at as a criminal until proven otherwise. A white person is racist until proven otherwise for me. Like, that's how I always go into it, bro. Like, nah, I don't know you. You probably, I don't know what your background is. You come from America. You looking at me as like a nigga. That's how I look at it. That's why I don't even got, bruh. All my friends black. Straight like that.
You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, I just feel like he's definitely trying to get those votes and do whatever he can to show us exactly who he is.
In modern day,
He even has a clause right now of, with him running for president, if he doesn't win, he can come back and continue to be governor.
Oh no, we can't have that. He gotta
Like,
go.
literally, he's
He
like,
gotta
yo,
go.
I don't win, I'm coming back to Florida.
He gotta go.
Disney pulled out of $1 billion project that they was about to do in Orlando
because he's wilding up with them.
like, bro, they was about to have 2,000 new jobs, this and that, but
Yes.
they do not fuck with DeSantis. They said,
don't.
fuck you.
They
They
don't.
pulled the project.
And he's trying to sue
Jesus
him.
Christ.
Yeah.
$1 billion, bro.
Yeah.
I did not know that, bro.
Yeah.
Get this nigga the fuck out of
Give
here.
him- but that's how he feels. He's like, either I win the presidency or I'm coming back to Florida. Like, we're not getting rid of him until the next election.
What a bitch.
At least, right?
But that goes to show you how much, like, how can you have your cake and eat it too? Like, what the hell?
That's what hey, man. Who are we, man? We just on the LTD podcast talking about this nigga. Who are we? You know what I mean?
We the minority. We the minority. I don't know.
Well, with that
rough.
being said, man, Miss Simmons, I appreciate you
Thank
for coming
you.
through.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
This was
Thank
fire. This
you know
was
what I mean? I
dope.
love this
Thank you for
episode.
the
Very
invite.
educational.
This was fire.
It's good to hear what's going
Go
on.
Heat,
with
go
you,
Rattlers.
you know what I'm saying? But go Heat, you know what I'm saying? We gonna be in the finals. The hating ass nigga Date here who was
Yes.
counting us out, but we're here.
Let's go Panthers!
I ain't never
We
hate.
are
You know I
here.
ain't hate.
Let's go Panthers. Great day for Florida sports, man. If you are not a Heat
Nation.
fan, you a hater. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the Boston Celtics and shout out Grant Williams. You know what I mean? Boston fans are really ignorant. Oh, you know what I'm saying? They're very
very
ignorant. I will show you a video right now that this is ignorant.
More ignorant than New York fans?
Yeah. Oh no, nothing's worse than Knick
Dang
fans.
it.
Nothing.
They
But
got it going on.
with that being said, man, we are signing off. Like, you know what I say after every podcast, you got anything you want to do, man, anything at all, just go ahead and take the risk. Jump in, be an entrepreneur, man. These 9-to-5s can only pay you so much, but you can pay yourself a lot more. You know
Just do
the
it
vibe.
like Nike.
And nothing wrong with a 9-to-5, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Whatever works for you.
Shout out to Nate. Whatever works
Whatever
for you.
works
You
for
know what I'm
you.
saying? With that being said, we signing off, man. Later.
Later. That was fire.